Mic check. We got 4 people up in this motherfucker already. It's cracking. Can you hear me or what? You guys hear me? What up, my dog, Tim Hennessy, the one and only Inland Empire. You know, I show my love, my dog. Can you guys hear me good or what? What up, Rich? We got a legend in the house tonight. What up, Mr. Tekken? We definitely got a legend in the house tonight, guys. Shout out to Lockdown, no doubt. Check the homie out. Subscribe to his channel. All that good stuff. What it do though, gente? How you guys doing? Hey man, I decided to go professional. Change it up a little bit. Change my background. I got tired of my background. I just started to upgrade it, you know what I'm saying, homie? Back to my normal routine, you know, look a little bit more professional. You know, I grew up. Oh, yeah, I think we all grew up on CLiKA 1, huh? I know I did. I remember walking to, yeah, man. Thank you, dog. You know, I had to wear something fresh. I had to get, like, at least put something on, you know. Usually I just put on whatever, dog, come on live, but so I'm wearing a hat tonight. Fuck it, dog. I got a lot of shit, but I don't wear shit because, dog, my kids, homie, I'm constantly going up and down, dog, so I don't really have time to be all, like, super mossy with me. What it do, though? Yeah, man. But the homie was running. He was doing some things, you know. So if he's a little late, excuse us. But he is coming. So, but yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. Hey, this background was my very first background I paid for from Sin City. Shout out to Sin City Vanquish, wherever you at, my dog. He did this background for me, homie. He did me a few of them, but this is one of the few that I still have. You know, one of the few I still have, you know. I got another dope-ass background. If you guys want to check it out real quick while we wait, fuck around with the virtual background. I decided to bust out my because people be on. I be getting some comments like, oh, your shit, blah, 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 blah. Hey, but sometimes you just got to upgrade your shit, you know. I don't know. Yeah, you know, gotta look more professional. As your channel grows, you know, you gotta upgrade your shit. And I've been having all this stuff sitting in my closet, homie. Just sitting in my closet, dog. Hold on, guys. Hey, turn that down, baby boy. Put your headphones on. I'll go to the room. Look. Yeah, guys. Yeah, man. Like I said, you know, the virtual background is cool. I just didn't, I don't know, I got tired of it, I guess. But I decided, like, I don't know, out of nowhere, I was just like, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna throw my virtual background back on. And, you know, I'm gonna post a link for the legend for Bad Boy. So this is gonna be a straight to it conversation. And we're gonna chop it up behind the scenes, but things schedules got mixed up. So, but let's see, man, it's gonna be a dope one because, like I said, I grew up to CLiKA 1, man. I'm pretty sure all you guys did too. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Let me check hold on, guys. It looks kind of. This is why I don't like the virtual background because I'm real picky with my shit.
Why are you guys fucking me out?
No one locked you out, baby. There it goes. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I got my kids in running around the pad right now. Don't mind them. It's real life. Yeah. No, together. Don't turn the camera. I don't like when you come on the camera, people see you. Start talking nonsense. Go. Go. Hey, boy. Yeah, man. Sorry, guys. My son's a little crazy. Hold on real quick. That dad life. Hey, buddy. Hold on a second. Take him in the room, boy. All right, guys. So, my bad. It's real life, though. I'm the babysitter, and I'm the mom, the dad, and the babysitter. Hey, but what to do, though? What are you guys doing? Just a second, guys. Right. What up, HCB? Chilling, homie, at work already. Out of work, yeah, that's right. Shout out to everybody, man. For real. Summertime, so my kids are hella active right now. They're not going to school, so my bad if they're a little crazy. What to do, though, Anthony? You got? Oh, just wait a little bit. Here we go.
What's up with you, man? Can you hear me?
There you are. What up, bro? How you doing, bro?
Man, doing good, baby. How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah, how you doing?
Man, chilling. Just here at the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
What's good, man? Talk to me.
I'm just chilling. How you guys? Just chilling, bro. I'm just like, wow, amazing, bro. So what's going on with you, man? Like, let's talk a little bit about you, man. The legend in the house.
That's right. Man, just doing the catching up to everybody shit, man.
Man,
Yeah, man, this whole new movement that the digital era got, man, it's got me catching up, you know?
yeah,
I ain't done nothing since I think I started fucking with music again in 2018, and I had stopped in 2008, about 2007, really. So it was a good 10 years that I stayed away from it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But yeah, man, just catching up, just trying to catch up, man.
Hey, so hey, how do you feel that the new streaming on YouTube is a lot more beneficial than before?
It's the way it's structured.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is, my boy. It's definitely a lot easier. It's a lot easier for the artist to get on and shit, but it's a lot more saturated, you know.
right.
That's the only thing. It's there's so much of it that it's not as I won't say as good because there's super good artists out there, but I think anybody can put their music on all platforms in a matter of a couple of minutes. So,
Right.
you know, back in the days, the only difference was if you really wanted to be a rapper, you had to put in some money, and it wasn't that cheap, you know. it costs some money to get into the studio. So,
Right.
you know, it filtered out all the unnecessary wannabe artists that really just wanted to be it just because, you know, instead of having an actual purpose or something to say. So yeah, man, that's the only thing that I would say was better back then was that, yeah, if you wanted to be an artist, you had to be dope and you had to have somebody either backing you financially or you had to be backing yourself financially, but you wanted to bet on yourself, and you don't have to now. You don't have to bet on yourself. All you got to do is just buy a DAW and record yourself and put it on iTunes. So, you know.
Right.
But yeah, man. So how you been, man? I think you're doing your thing too, man. I like what you're doing. I think it's information that we all need to have in our fingertips. I appreciate the up to date. You guys keep us up to date, you know, with everything that's going around in the Chicano rap world. You know?
Right.
Dope.
Nah, that I try to. I get a lot of. Sometimes I get a lot of backlash, but I know what I could post and what I can't. So I've been good. You know, I haven't had any issues. Like but
the rag around it so it doesn't show the label, please. I'm sorry, my boy.
No, it's all good.
My bad.
Hey,
what were you saying?
Sometimes, right, like this day and age, you like us YouTubers get a lot of heat from a lot of big artists when it comes to posting content on them. Some people get offended. Like, I had a couple rappers get at me like, "Hey, I don't like this and that." You know, it is what it is, bro. You know, but I try to be respectful in everything I do. You know,
but why would they get mad just because you're reporting it?
Yeah, because I told him it's part of YouTube, boy. Like, it's part of the game. You know, people need their name to travel, homie. And if someone's gonna do it for free, hey, fuck it. You know, take advantage of it. You know, back then you didn't get that. Back then it was swap meets. It was all swap meet. I remember CLiKA won swap meet, Best Buy. Not Best Buy. Circuit. It was Circuit City.
Yeah.
Who was it? Where was the one on the they used to sell a bunch of records all the time. They closed it down.
Warehouse. Sam
Warehouse. There you go, Warehouse. There you go.
La toalla blanca, carnal. Mójamela, no, carnal. Por favor, no, pero yeah. My bad, carnal.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, man. You're around you're pretty up there if you remember them stores, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was it's a lot different back then, no? When you could actually go to a motherfucking record store and buy a motherfucking CD, man. I think those were the days, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the streams aren't bad because our streams are beautiful, my boy. We're streaming almost a million streams a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Amazing.
And I got the number, the paperwork to show that. So that's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, even a million streams a month isn't shit. It's nothing. People think it is, but it's not, my boy. It's really not a lot. Yeah, it's not a lot at all, my boy. So it sounds good, you know. It sounds beautiful to be able to say, yeah, we're streaming almost 1 million views a month.
Right.
It doesn't what do you call it? It doesn't turn into a lot of money, my boy. It's not. So
it's not.
You think about 1 million views. That means your shit's been played 1 million times, and you're gonna tell me that all I deserve is about 5 racks out of that?
Right.
That shit don't make no sense. You know?
Make no sense, man.
No. But yeah, it is what it is. I know Snoop Dogg and them were talking about trying to change the way it's structured. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that?
Yeah. The structure of the game.
At least how we're paid. You know,
money, man.
Yeah, it's only a fraction of a cent per stream.
Yeah, it's the same way right here on YouTube. The same way the music, the streams, like I could hit 1 million views on a short and get paid a whole lot of change. I'm being honest. Yeah. It ain't like what people think.
It doesn't add up to a lot, does it? So I don't know what if it's. I'm assuming it has to change because, you know, especially if motherfuckers were to. I know the shit changed when I forgot who all got. Oh well, when Tidal. You remember Tidal when Jay-Z bought it?
Yeah.
When he came along, he changed the whole game as far as. I think he multiplied the amount that we were getting because he was taking all the people from Spotify and iTunes and all the other ones because he pays twice as much, you know. So, you know, it'll get there, man. I think things can only get better. That's what life does. It only gets better, you know.
Yeah, they have gotten better though over the years, from selling out of the trunk of the swap meet or, you know, sitting next to 50 other CDs.
Yeah, actually, we made more money back then doing that. But
yeah.
What I mean is, like back then when YouTube was playing our music, we wouldn't even get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember that song that we did with me and Shadow did called Crazy Ass Mexicans. That shit hit
Mexicans.
Remember that?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Views. I remember it hit 1 million views in a couple of months. And they didn't pay us for that. There was no money to make back in the days. Even if the shit got viewed, I don't think there was any payouts for that.
No,
So
back then it was just like getting your face
right.
Pretty much.
Wrong? Yeah, right.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so it's better now, you know what I'm saying? At least I think it is. And like I said, it can only get better, man. It's definitely I'm learning as I go. You know, I kind of shied away from it for a little bit because I hate computers to begin with, my boy. I don't like them. I'm not too savvy with them, and so it's a lot for me to take in, and I'm very impatient also. You know, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know, man. It's hard for me to pick up on a new habit, even if I'm like passionate about it. Like for instance, the video game, I really was interested in shooting my own videos. So I went and I bought me a very, very nice camera and, you know, everything that I needed to go with it. I'm talking about the lenses, the lights, you know, everything you could think of. And I tried to turn that camera on. I did not like it, man. It was too difficult. It was too much going on for me to, you know, it was just a lot. So I told the homies, I'm like, whoever picks up on this and learn and you know, figures it out can keep it. And nobody wanted to pick it up. So, you know, I still had to pay people to shoot my videos and shit. But I bought another one just recently. So I got a homeboy who said that he's gonna help me fuck with it, you know. So, but I was trying to keep everything in house. That way, I don't have to pay people for my videos. I got my own studio. I ain't got to pay nobody to record. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the logical thing to do as an artist, but it's kind of harder to figure it out. Even when supposedly I was so-called passionate about being a director and shooting my own videos, man, I couldn't. Nah, I put that bitch down real quick. I'm like, hell no, it's just too much to it.
Right, definitely. Hey, like I'm the same way. Like I barely started becoming this YouTube last year, and I wasn't computer savvy either, and I had to learn all the programming and everything. It's been a journey, bro. It really has. You know.
Has it been hard?
Yeah, it's been hard. It has, yes. You know, and I'm not, like I said, I'm just like you, bro. I'm impatient and I'm not computer savvy and shit. So, but I said, you know what? I paid for one thing on this channel, and I said never again. I'm gonna do everything on my own now, you know. And I've
And
been doing that, you know.
you don't have no homies like rocking with you, helping you out behind the scenes?
Nah, everything I do is on my own, eh? The reason being is because I mean, besides Local, no doubt, my bad. He shoots me a lot of gente, you know. He refers a lot of good people to me, and vice versa. But other than that, homie, like it's usually just me, you know, pretty much. I mean, I have homeboys that people that say like, you know, other content creators, but they're just there's no level. There's just content, just mutual respect, you know. It's not like they're not helping me on my channel. They're not the one that gives me a lot of love. Like I said, is Local, no doubt. We talk behind the scenes, you know, and I shoot them people. We network hella hard, you know. That's pretty
dope.
much.
Our network. That's good.
And then
That's how you should do it. You know what I'm saying?
and through the networking, I met a lot of good individuals, man, like yourself. You know, like I said, I bumped you since middle school. You know, I'm in my late 30s, so middle school, I remember I had the headphones on and shit. We would walk and shit, and fucking we would carry the CD and shit with you guys on all the white shirts and shit. That was fun.
Where you stationed out of, my boy?
Right here in Riverside, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lived. I stayed in San Bernardino.
All right.
Back where I was young, and I lived in Montclair.
I lived in Montclair for a little bit.
Yeah, first I came from Mexico to Compton. I lived in Compton for about a year, maybe a year and a half. And from there, we went up to Montclair. I went to a Ramona Elementary. I think that's in Montclair or Pomona, one of those. And then I moved. Then I went to San Bernardino, and then from San Bernardino, I came to Vegas and shit. So moms kept going up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Kept stepping it up. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
From San Bernardino to Vegas, that's definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, so where did you guys originate? The CLiKA One. Where did you guys really all originate from? Start like where did the rap group come along at?
We met in Vegas, my boy.
Vegas.
Yeah. I was we were all actually Brown, the oldest one, the tall one. He was in a group.
Right.
With two Negros. It was called Creek Mob. Him and a homeboy named Bonafide and another rapper named D-Bug. And he used to go by Kid Brown. And this was in 94, 95. And then I was a solo artist. And then Romero was a solo artist. So I met Brown at a car wash. It's called the Stop and Shop out here. Or the Stop and Kill, whatever, but his record label put together like a talent show type thing or whatever, and I remember I had and I had participated in it, and when Brown saw me on stage, he approached me and asked me if I was willing to do a song with him. So I'm like, hell yeah. But I was 15 years old, you know what I'm saying? And he was already, 20, I believe, about 20. So I was a lot younger. And then I went to a house party, and that's where I met Romero. And I had met him as Romero though, and I had battled Romero at this house party.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think he was doper because again he was older. He was 18, I was 15, but he was just so polished, man. Romero was just ready to go. I think Romero was the one that was completely 100% there where I wanted to be, you know?
Right.
And so we battled and then we exchanged numbers, and then when I went to go Brown was picking me up to go to the studio to the first session, and he's like, hey, he kept telling me, if you know any other, remember that, man. I want to get like a lot of people on the song. He hadn't told us yet though that he was planning on making this group that we eventually became. But when he came to pick me up to go to the first session, I told him, I said, hey man, I met some dude. His name's Romero. I go, he's dope as fuck. I got his number, And he's like, okay, well, shit. And back in these days, there weren't no cell phones. You feel me? So I remember I just told him, he's like, well, call him, you know, whenever you get a chance. Or I don't know if he said call him from the studio or whatever. But he goes, hey, we're going to go pick up this dude. His name is Randy. And he's a rapper too. He used to go to school with me. So I'm like, okay. So when we pull up to this guy Randy's house, it was Romero. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought it was just very odd and meant to be that I'm like, okay, this shit here it was meant to be, because the way when I first heard Romero, I was like, that's gotta be, you know, the dopest motherfucking Mexican I had heard besides Frank V. You know what I'm saying? At that time,
Yeah, there you go.
man, that
Right.
motherfucker right there, yeah.
Yeah, power.
Yeah. And so when we picked up Randy, it was Romero, and of course, you know, me and Randy or Romero, we was like, oh shit, man, you know. So we went to the studio, and that's where Brown came up, you know, and told us, he's like, hey man, I'm trying to start a group with y'all, you know. And believe it or not, there was a fourth member of CLiKA. His name was Bronson. And now that I think about it,
Wow.
I'm lying, because he was also polished and ready to go. He was like an older version of me. I couldn't describe him any more different, but he was probably about 18 also, like an 18-year-old version of me. And I remember he just had the swag. He was just polished too, but he was inconsistent. Whenever we would book studio time, you know, he would always bullshit, man. And it got so hard to get shit done with him, that eventually, I don't know why, but you know, we all came to the conclusion of he had to go. And he got booted out the group, my boy. Unfortunately.
Man, that's really.
But I could tell you this much: he was as dope as any one of us, and I know, I'm pretty sure he watched us grow, and probably, you know, might have regretted it, man. And I think I bumped into him maybe once or twice in the last 25 years, man. And I kind of saw it in his eyes, you know, like, damn, man, you know, I could have stuck with this shit. Who knows what we could have accomplished? Because I can tell you that for some reason, I believe four of us would have been better than three, you know? But, and then not just that, but I don't know, man. I think the age difference, it really made a big ass difference in us staying together or not. Because can you imagine being 20 years old and having to make business decisions with a 15-year-old? I don't know. I don't know if I could have done that shit. You know, I think it was very, very, we had different mentalities. I wanted to do one thing, the other one wanted to do another thing, and we were bumping heads a lot, you know. We got down and threw blows, man, and it was and I don't think it was anything personal or that we didn't like each other, because till this day, you know, at least me and Romero, we're still in communication. The other one kind of retired already, so we don't talk to him no as much. And
Yeah.
but yeah, man, we could have definitely gone a little further if we would have just maybe had a mediator in between, because we never had a manager. Well, I'm lying about that too. We had a manager when we first started, but he was gone by like 2 years into it. So by the time the first album came out, he wasn't in the picture no more. So there really was no manager. It was just a bunch of egos and three rappers from Vegas thinking, you know, each one of us is the responsible one for making the group blow. When in all reality, I don't think we could have made it without each other. You feel me? I think as a unit, we were so much stronger that yeah, man, we could have definitely did a lot more if we would have just stuck it out, man. But I'm not saying that it, you know, it's it's a big mistake because regardless, I'm still proud of what we accomplished. But I was telling the homeboy from Loked Out, I was telling him it's almost like Kobe and Shaq, like what they could have done. That's at least that's how I see it. Like we could have kept releasing good albums because we couldn't miss, my boy. Both of the albums that we released, I can show you the numbers. They got beautiful numbers, and people to this day, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's man. What year was that where you guys decided you guys were gonna
Say it again.
what year was it when you guys all split up?
Well, I was the one that left, but this was in 2000 and I think maybe 2001, 2002. Maybe, yeah, about 2002. I think the second album had been out for about a year or something like that. But yeah, man, there was a lot of issues that were just popping off left and right. I know I said some on the homies other channel, but I could tell you, and I'm not saying this to start no beef with them, because there ain't no beef between each other, and I'm sure they have their perspectives of how they saw it, and I'm not mad at them, and I got nothing but love for them. So please don't think that I'm saying this for controversy or for points or for you to like me more than them, because cuz that's not what this is about. This is just me telling the story of what I've happened from my perspective. You feel me?
History. This history right here.
Yes, sir. And like I said, me and Romero were like this, you know, and me and Brown, I'm sure we're like this too. We just don't talk, but there's no animosity or nothing like that. There was before between me and, you know, one of them, but not no more. But I remember we had an offer. We had two offers that we ended up, like the last two that we filtered through all the offers that we got for the first album. Right. And well, actually, yeah, for the first album. And the last two that were standing that we were gonna mess with, one of them was a distribution called ADI from Arizona, and then the other one was Thump Universal. Bill Walker, I'm sure you know who Thump is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know they were the last two that we were gonna decide on, but I remember Bill offered us a certain amount of money. And he offered us, you know, ads in the Lowrider and the Lowrider tour and all of that. Right. And then the other one offered us twice as much money, but no Lowrider tour and no promotion on the Lowrider magazine type shit. So the way I saw it was the other money that we were going to make with ADI was just going to cover the promotion. We would only be left with the same amount of money that Thump was offering. So I thought the Thump deal was a lot better and more lucrative for us as a group. But, you know, it's a majority vote. So they thought that it was better to go with ADI. So that was one of the things that, you know, bothered me a lot, because I thought it was just the wrong move. Because yeah, you're getting twice as much money over here, but nobody knows who we are. There's no promotion money. We got to pay all this money back because, you know, you're in debt. Even though most of it is our own money, we still got to get that money back. So you're in the red, you know, and we spent about 27 racks on the first album and about 20, I don't know, almost 30 on the second one. So back in those days, that was, you know, some nice little chump change.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So, you know, it took us a while to even pay the money back that we had invested to even start seeing anything back. I assumed, because who knows what would have happened if we went with Thump. But I assumed that if we would have went with Thump and we had the Lowrider tour, we would have had a booth where we're selling merchandise. I just felt there was a better deal over here. That kind of, you know, that's where the disagreement started. It was a big disagreement because it was a big decision that we had to make. And then I was offered the deal as a solo artist through Dump Universal, but I didn't want to take it because I wanted to hold off for a big deal with a major, which they were a major at that point. They were considered a major because they were with Dump. I mean, with Universal, but they still weren't offering what I wanted. I wanted a big record. I wanted a big deal with a major label, and then I did end up getting a deal offer directly through Universal for the amount of money that I wanted, and unfortunately that fell apart because the guy from the consultant for Universal, his name was Kevin Black. He's the one that World Star for a couple of years, but
all right.
He had he had got me the deal directly with Universal, but he had John B. Remember John B, the R&B singer?
Yeah.
All right, so he had John B, and then he had a rock rap group called the Bottom Dwellers. And when I tell you, man, they were the dopest shit I had ever heard. This was around 2004. So he had them too, and then he was talking about he wanted me to sign to him so he can use me as leverage to get his label deal instead of me going directly with Universal.
Right.
So that was a big mistake that I made on my part because I assumed that if I hooked up with this man who had been working with Dre, he worked with Jimmy Iovine, he was a consultant for Universal, and he had John B, and he had this group that I thought were the shit. I thought we had a very, very, very good chance of getting a label deal instead of me getting signed as an artist directly, because believe it or not, being a label and getting a distribution deal is a lot more lucrative than it is me signing directly to them as an artist, because it just is. It's like, would you rather be Cash Money or you want to be just the artist signed to Universal? You know, it's better to be Baby and Slim than it is to be, I don't know, whoever artist is signed to Universal, but it's more lucrative because you make a lot more money.
Right.
So the guy promised me, you know, boom. He's like, man, if you sign with me instead and you give me this deal, I'm gonna treat you like a partner and not just an artist. So sure enough, I signed the paperwork with him, and it was a over $1 million deal. It was fucking, it was what I've been waiting my whole motherfucking life, you know.
Yeah, for real.
But unfortunately, they did not like the fact that he had done that, and instead of taking it like a nice, you know, move, I guess I wasn't that fucking important to them. They did not like that, man, and it fucked up my deal. But yeah, man, I could tell you that that there's been some ups and downs in this music game for us, man. But I can't complain about none of it, man. I'm very blessed to be where I'm at, and the love and the appreciation that I get from fans and just even the new artists that are coming out is dope as fuck, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's dope to see, like, you're one of, like, there's a few of you guys left still, but man, when we message and you message me, man, and you're just so humble, bro. Like, and to me, like, damn, bro, artists. No offense to nobody, don't get mad. I'm just saying, nowadays, the humbleness is not really there, bro. The talent kind of oversides the humbleness, you know, and that's always just like, damn, man, you're really. I mean, you're a legend, dog. You're a legend in the game, you know. Whether I know people, but You know,
You know,
you
is
carry yourself humble, humble like a mug, bro. Like I was just
I have
amazed, bro.
to.
Like, damn,
I
that's
have
what's
to,
up.
man.
Mhm.
I can tell you that when the first album came out, I was 17.
Man, that's
So
what's up.
think
That's dope,
about
bro.
that.
That's dope.
And if you think about how big of an impact that was, it was a huge, huge impact in the music game. And imagine me being at school still, and I I had I can tell you, God has been great to me, man.
That's
I
right.
have been on tour with everybody from I've written for Kid Frost, was on tour with the whole Dope House label.
Mhm. Crazy.
Fuck, I did it all, man. And since I was 15, 16, because you got to remember, our first deal was with Thump for a single deal
Yeah.
back in 95 for the Lowrider soundtrack. They gave us a single deal. They were trying to get us since back then, but I don't think we were polished enough. And so he just offered us a single deal. And then once we finished the second album, he wanted to mess with us again. But what I'm saying is, I had already been, very the cool, popular, Mexican motherfucker in Vegas. So I've always, since I was a little kid, 14, 15 years old, I've always been what you call the cool motherfucker. So I've signed babies' heads like, what's his name from Talladega Nights. Like, I've really done all of that at a young age. So for me
Right.
to complain about anything, it's like, nah, man. Before I hit 20 years old, I was on top of the world. At least that's how I saw it. You feel me?
Word. Hey, yeah.
Yeah. So, I could tell you that, and my whole entire life has been like that. I have always been the elephant in the room, or I've always, wherever I go, I'm
Yeah.
greeted with the most love and respect that you can ask for. And I mean, that's anywhere that I go, man. I'm always, I always feel special, and sometimes it's even uncomfortable. So how could I be mad, or why would I not be humble, or man, I can't even explain to you the appreciation that I have for life, because I have been blessed, my boy. I have definitely, I have felt like even my hard times have I can't complain about them, man, because they've all either taught me something, but yeah, I think, at least in the circumstances I went through, and in my situation, that's why I stayed humble, because I've always been grateful for what I've had. I couldn't, I wouldn't know how else to act. I don't think you could ever run across somebody that'll tell you that I'm not a cool motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very confident, and a lot of people might have not liked that, but there's a difference between being confident and sure of yourself. And I was always the so-called, the ladies' man, and had a lot of,
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh, yeah, the whole rap, everything that
yeah,
comes with the rap game, pretty much.
yeah. When
Yeah.
girls want to be with you and dudes want to be you,
Yeah.
I literally have experienced that since I was a little youngster. So yeah, man, I have nothing to complain about, man. I'm just grateful for all of that shit, man. I truly am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, that's dope. Damn,
Yeah.
bro, that, man, bro, that's that's humbleness right there, bro. Like you said, man. Hey, it's a trip though to meet you, bro. Like I said, I used to play your music a lot, bro. I still do.
Yes.
It still goes hard to this day. It still
Do you
slaps hard.
think you think we were ahead of our time though?
Yeah,
I think so too. No.
yeah. You guys are something different, man. And the sad part of it was like you said, it was back then it was a lot harder than it is now,
Right.
And I think the like you guys, the old generation of rappers or artists, they had it way harder because they had, like you said, you had either your trunk, you had to have your own money, like now rappers, they're getting the fame, the clout from YouTube, and they're getting paid for it. You know, so it's a lot. It's a lot more harder when you're back then to come up, like where you are now. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
work, dedication. You know, you got to
Yeah.
stand out.
And it's hard too now, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I think you can't stand out now. You know, it's like
yeah, that's harder now.
you got a lot of motherfuckers, you know, doing the same thing to compete with you. So
Right.
if you're not different, like you really got to be different. And I think that's why there's certain artists that blow up and the ones that don't. You know who Tony G is?
Yeah, Tony G.
The one that produced La Raza and Mentirosa
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
I remember he told me something. He said it's better to be different than it is to be good.
Right.
And I didn't understand what he meant until I understood what he meant. You know, like a lot of people could be good. There's a lot of good people, but for some reason, if you're good but you're different, that's like Bone Thugs. Like do you remember the first time you heard Bone Thugs in Harmony?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'll never forget. The first time I heard Brother Lynch, I'll never forget. You know, there were just certain artists that are just different, that aren't your normal artists. Like they just something different. But
Right.
the one I could definitely tell you was always Bone Thugs, because I'll never forget when I heard that Thuggish Ruggish Bone shit, man.
Man, that shit was hard. That still goes hard to this day.
I mean, you couldn't even understand what they were saying, but you know, you know?
And it was so, yeah.
That's what I mean. That shit was so different. And I think that's kind of what, at least in my opinion, from my perspective, that's what I assume the Chicano rap world saw when they heard CLiKA, you know? Because I remember when we met Frost, and it's funny because I just saw Romero saying it on another podcast just a couple of days ago, but when we met Frost told us that his girlfriend at the time had us on her answering machine. You feel me?
That's right.
So, yeah, and then we did a show in I think it was Santa Ana or somewhere over there in Cali, but the homeboy AC the promoter had came up to us. He was hosting the whole show. You know, shout out to AC the promoter, man. That's my brother right there. But he's all over the place. Like I don't think there's a harder working Chicano artist out there like AC the promoter. But he came up to us and he's like, "Hey man, have y'all ever met Little Rob?" And I'm like, "Nah." And he was the headliner, right? So he goes, man, I just talked to him and he told me, I had asked him, you know, who he thought was the shit in the game right now. And he said, y'all. So I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even think Lil Rob knew who the fuck we were at that time. You feel me? So he's like, you know, y'all want to go meet him? So we're like, hell yeah, you know? So he took us up to his little room he had. And man, when I tell you that's the most humblest motherfucker I've ever met in my entire life in the game. That's a real motherfucking solid, humble motherfucker, you know, from just like you see me, that's how I see him. Like he's at the top of the game and he don't show you no type of, you know, ego whatsoever. I remember we were working on his album right before he went to Upstairs Records. It was actually just me and him. We were working on a whole album, right? And we were probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 songs in and shit. But then that's when he got the deal with the Upstairs. So he's like, hey, bad boy. He's like, you know, my bad, my boy, but we're going to have to scratch this whole album. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I wasn't mad because they paid me so good, him and his cousin. They paid me so fucking good, but I was literally staying by myself. It was lying too. It was me, Bobby from A Lighter Shade of Brown, DTTS. Even though he wasn't doing nothing really on the album, he was just living with me at the studio. So it was me, Bobby, and and Little Rob would just come by, but we were actually in the studio. But yeah, when he got that deal with Upstairs, he scratched the whole motherfucking album, right? So of course I couldn't say nothing because I got paid for what I was paid to do, which was produce. I was making beats for him, and I wrote a little bit for him. So when they scratched the whole thing, and what I mean wrote for him, I don't mean like his raps. I mean like hooks, mainly hooks, you know.
Yeah.
But I did write some hooks for him. But anyways, so when they scratched the whole album, I'm like, man, you know, I had called him up and I wanted to get a verse from him because I knew he was good. When that Upstairs Records deal came, I already knew what they were planning on doing with him if they were scratching my whole fucking work of that I thought was just dope. And when I tell you that shit, it was different. It was Little Rob and CLiKA 1. Just imagine what you know. I thought it was gonna be dope. But again, when you think of Little Rob, you don't really see CLiKA 1 mashing well with them. So I'm assuming that Upstairs must have been like, you know what, we don't want to go in that direction because we were going in that direction, and I'm sure y'all know what direction I'm saying, but they brought him back this way, so that's where he dropped this Barely Getting By or whatever that song was, and he went back to that, you know. But
yeah, he went back to that too, though.
Do a verse for me, and the motherfucker drove from San Diego all the way to Diamond Bar, California, which is right by you, right?
Yeah, right next to me.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, so, somewhere around here.
Yeah, it's not that far, but it's
not that far.
About 2 hours.
Yeah, about 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I thought that was cool, you know, that he and this was already while he was recording. You know, he was already pretty much gonna go mainstream type of because I think he was already on the radio, but yeah, man, he drove all the way to Diamond Bar to record a song with me and Roger Troutman. Remember Roger from Zapp and Roger?
Yeah, Zapp and Roger. Damn, some legends in the house.
Yeah, man. So there's a song out there with me, Little Rob, and Roger. It's the remix of I Wanna Be Your Man. But it's fucking dope as fuck, right? And the problem with that was once Roger got killed, Warner Chappell wouldn't release the rights to use the song. So I know you can find it on some, you know, certain albums, and you might even find it online, but it wasn't supposed to be out. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have the rights to. But I think that the guy who owned the beat and paid for Roger, he manipulated it somehow to get it through. But you can find it out there. But you know, the drums ain't in there. It's just a loop kind. I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, he did that for me, man. And I thought that was a cool ass thing for him to do. That he didn't have to because he didn't owe me, you know. And to this day, man, he still stays in contact. And matter of fact, he's doing some stuff for me for this documentary I got coming out about CLiKA. He's shooting his little parts as we speak. He should be sending them here anytime now. But yeah, man, it's a lot of cool ass stories that I got.
Man, that's a dope one right there. That's something I never heard, man. That is just sick, bro. Little Rob, Zapp, Roger, my bad. Damn, man.
Yeah, that was the matter of fact. We had done a song with Roger in 1998, a couple months before he died, with CLiKA.
Damn, man. That's right.
And it was called Chicano Love, and we remixed Computer Love. And that shit was a hit, man. But again, when Roger died, we couldn't release it. So we spent a lot of money on that fucking hook. He came to the studio right after the Super Show, and he recorded his part. And I just remember thinking we had a hit on our hands, man. And I think everybody else did too. That's the song that got us, that solidified the deal we were working out with Death Row. was that song specifically, because I remember that guy Keita Rock, when he heard that, he's like, "Is that the real Roger?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Real Roger. That's him. That's right.
Yeah, he was gonna put that one. I remember they were doing the Two Gangster for Radio, or the Two Gangster for Radio, and he's like, "Yeah, this is going on that compilation." He's like, "This is the first thing we drop it." So I know he was planning, or they were planning on releasing that, probably one of our first singles. But again, that fell apart too, man. But yeah, man, been some cool little stories that I can,
Hey,
that
and
I
Suge, my bad, brother. And Suge Knight, have you ever have any encounters with Suge?
I have.
Yeah.
I have met him, but not in a business. Uh,
Yeah.
not in a business. Setting. I've met him out and about in Vegas. I remember one time I was at the mall and I was on the phone with Frost. And as soon as I walked in, I noticed him and I'm like, "Oh shit." He's like, I told Frost, I'm like, "Suge's up in here." He's like, "Go get him on the phone." So I'm like, "All right." So I walked right up to him, and I think it was him and maybe one or two dudes and a female. I forgot. But he was cool. I'm like, "Hey, the homie Kid Frost want to holler at you." So he grabbed my phone and stayed on the phone with Frost for about maybe 20 minutes. Good time. Thank God we were at a Foot Locker, because that's what I had gone in there to do, was buy shoes.
Right.
But that was during the time where Frost was trying to shop us around to other different record labels. So I knew what Frost was trying to do with him. So he had, I think he was trying to set up a meeting, but then again, that's when the ship started sinking for Suge, So it wasn't a good idea to go that route anymore. But Frost did take us to a couple of record labels. I went with him personally. We went to Interscope. We met with remember Rico Suave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Rico Suave, his name was Geraldo, right? His name is Geraldo Macias. He was president of Interscope Latin.
Right.
And we went and met with him. I was in that meeting, just me, Frost, and him. And he was shopping his album, our album, and Little One's album. And at first they wanted to go with ours, but then they changed their minds and wanted to go with Little One's. And then they had a meeting, and it didn't happen for Little after that. But he also took us to Univision. I got to go with him for that one too. Me and Frost have always been. He's like my big brother, He's always
Another legend.
Man, that's the only one that I really consider a big homie. Like he's the one that's made it up there, like in the hip hop game. Like I know Bash and Little One personally, but I don't think people understand the magnitude of Kid Frost's presence in hip hop. It's different. It's not like, it's just different, man. He's in coloring books. I got a coloring book with Kid Frost in it, and it's all hip hop shit. Did you see the mural that they just blasted up in downtown LA?
Yeah.
Man, he's he's
that.
Yeah, he's from that cloth, Yeah, there's shit that he hasn't wrote, but when I tell you that, when motherfuckers talk shit about Frost not writing his raps, first of all, from what he's told me, he wrote La Raza. So yeah, but there is people that have written for him, including myself. But the difference between him and a person who tries to act like he writes all his shit is he's never said he writes all his shit. And he's always said he has ghostwriters like AOT, Baby Bash, CLiKA One. We all wrote for him. Don Cisco. He's never shied away from that. But I don't think he does it because he doesn't know how to write. I think he does it to share the wealth. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He's put a lot of money in my pocket because of me writing for him. Now, when you listen to the CLiKA 1 albums, the second album, he's on there on a song called Stress. Listen to that song, and when I tell you he came to Vegas, went in the studio with us, and he wrote that shit on his own. I'm talking about on the spot. I've been in the studio with him. He knows when to give me an opportunity and when not. He really likes it. He won't let me write that motherfucker. But usually, I think it's because he wants to share the wealth. He has always been, he's never been stingy about it. And I know that he can write. So I just think he likes to hear new shit and likes to try different shit. But it's not because he can't write, man. Please don't believe that, That man can write. He's very talented. I mean, fuck. He's written most of his videos and he's got a lot of fucking great ideas, man. But nah, man, that motherfucker would never lie about people writing for him. And I personally think it's just to help us out.
That's respect. Now, hey, there's a lot of that's respect, man. I gotta. Kid Frost is like when I think of Kid Frost, I think of one of the founders of the movement, pretty much. Where people say, no, it wasn't him, but he was MC Boulevard, like in them times, like them
Boulevard. That was another motherfucker right there too, man. That song called "I Remember You, Homie."
Yeah, I remember you, homie. Yeah, that's the one where that's when I found MC. Yeah.
I knew that song word for word, and I used to rap that motherfucker. Oh man, that was one of my favorite joints. That one, and I remember Night Owl's with the one with the girl singing. She's talking about smoking weed. I forgot. But and also his "Here Comes the Night Owl." You know what I'm talking about?
Here Comes the Night Owl, yeah.
Yeah, but Night Owl's "Here Comes the Night Owl," his first song. I think I was a huge Night Owl fan, man, and I was blessed to meet him, and he was actually one of the first artists that we met when they came out here to do a show. He was one of the first ones that kind of gave us our respect and made me feel like, okay, everybody from Cali, because you got to get the Cali motherfuckers to respect you in order to be accepted in the rap game, man. At least that's how it's always been, in my opinion. If Cali don't respect you, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I think it seems like it's still like that. I mean, you got your East Coast, but when it comes to now, like, it's still like that, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
And I don't see nothing wrong with it because that's where it started at. I mean, like you think about San Diego, I don't know what the fuck is in the water over there, my boy. But god damn it, them motherfuckers are talented. You could literally put a whole all-star team of Chicano rappers and get them all from Diego.
Right. A lot of them. Yeah.
I don't know what it is about San Diego, man, but there is nothing that has produced more talent than San Diego, in my opinion. I mean, even till now, the new rappers like the grifos and the weirdos and the obnoxious and fuck, man. I mean, you got Low Profile came from down there. The whole Sawed Off,
little one.
Sawed Off bringing Seldom Seen into the picture and
Seldom Seen, that's true.
Man, Seldom Seen to me was a problem. Like, ain't too many motherfuckers I consider the problem, and Seldom Seen, obnoxious. Those motherfuckers are problems. Precise. What's his name? Blaze One. Is that his name? Blaze One. That motherfucker. Iceman Real. Motherfuckers that got bars, man. That You know, those are the ones that I think are gonna change the game. The more and more that we get more inclined towards the lyrics, man, because swag changes all the time. Stilo changes all the time. You could be rocking this type of style now and rapping this way, but it's gonna change. But bars, if you got bars, that shit never changes because bars is bars. Bars is about being intellectual, speaking metaphors, similes, double entendres, all that shit, punchlines. Those never get old. You will never lose your respect from another MC if you got bars. And you know, I think that's what separates the greats from everybody else is the intelligence in your pen, you know, in your bars, man. But yeah, man, I think we're getting there, you know.
Yeah, you've been there, bro. You definitely been there. You're still there.
Oh yeah, and I'm man. When I tell you, wait till you hear this new album I got, boy. I all I did was I want to make sure that I stand alone in that area, you know. I know there's monsters out there. I know there's monsters out there, but I want to be the most creepiest, most deadliest, most you know. At least that's what I study is bars. I need to be more intelligent than the rest as far as how I put my bars together, man. And but yeah, it's coming. I promise you. I'm trying to release it for in September. You know.
Right. Be waiting on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I got the album. It's called the Gab. I got the documentary, and then the podcast coming. So
that's right.
Yeah, I got.
When's the documentary dropping?
I'm trying to release that motherfucker for right before the holidays, just so it can be, you know, motherfuckers like to watch shit during the holidays.
Yeah, they're at home chilling. Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to release it, man. But I want to do it right, and it's taking some time though, because I'm getting footage from all kinds of places that people had, and matter of fact, if anybody out there got some footage of CLiKA, want to get at me, send anything you got to me, pictures, all that shit. But I'm getting some footage from some shows that are gonna blow motherfuckers' minds. I got some footage. You remember Wicked Minds?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. That was the homeboy. Man, rest in peace to the homeboy. What was his name?
Oh,
what was it?
The Payaso?
No. Man, the main dude. The one that passed away, he got killed. God damn it. Let me think. I don't know. I can't believe I just went blank, my boy. But yeah, he came out. I remember he came out. I had the studio, and he brought a Chino Grande.
Chino Grande.
I remember it was Chino Grande. I think maybe even OG Midget Loco. But he brought the whole squad with him. And man, I just thought they were dope as fuck, man. And we did a song called Murder Musica that he ended up putting the Little Rob on it too. So it was Wicked Minds, CLiKA One, and Little Rob. I don't know if you heard it, but it's called Murder Musica.
Murder. Nah, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, that motherfucker's cold. Imagine all of us on one track. That song was dope, man. I remember Little Rob came in and it was just a different Little Rob because I till this day I think that's one of his best verses I've ever heard him spit. Yeah, man, that's
dope.
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot of footage that I got from those days, you know.
Right.
So
yeah. Nah, that is dope. That is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I got some shit coming out, man, and I think it's gonna be uh I'm gonna try to reintroduce the people to CLiKA One just one more time, man. Just for the sake of it, just because I can. I'm not doing it stressing out. I'm not like, oh my God, what if it sells? What if it don't? Nah, not really.
Right.
Yeah, I already did it, man. I just want to do it just to do it. Plus the fact that I never really released a solo album, so I want to release it just to say I did it.
You got some heat. Oh, you got heat back to back coming. We all waiting.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Man,
man. I think I might even release back in the days I released a compilation called Street Credibility, the features, where I grabbed all the songs that I did with Shadow, I did Little One, Little Blackie, everybody that I ever worked with, and I put them all on one album and I released it. It was called The Features, but it wasn't an album. It was just, like a compilation. But I've done enough features since then to put a part 2 out. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do before I release the EP, just to see test the waters. I do got a distribution deal with Empire as a record label. So
that's right.
CLiKA One's distributed through Empire, which is one of the biggest labels out there. And I have a
Yeah.
label deal. It's not a artist deal. It's an actual label deal. So I can I can tell you that it's the same thing that what Gold Toes can do for people.
For
I can
people on basically, right?
same situation. And I
So,
take it from me. I got some artists that I distribute, and I don't take a red cent from them. They get everything that they make. They keep it all. I don't charge them nothing. I don't make a cut. I don't do that. I don't think I need to. I'm
right.
blessed. So if anybody out there is looking for distribution and doesn't want to go through what is it, uh, like DistroKit, whatever. I know DistroKit can put you in most places, but it's not the same as in Empire giving your album to iTunes as DistroKit. It's a totally different responsibility that iTunes has to Empire than what they have for DistroKit, because DistroKit is just you pay to get on there, but
Yeah.
Empire is a label. So I can tell you that it's definitely it's a better way to go. Why everybody isn't blowing my phone up. I guess a lot of people don't want to be under somebody else, or they feel that they're under, because technically you're not under me. You're just distributed through me. But, I would say that that's the best way to go is through somebody like Gold Toes. So people that are going through Gold Toes, like the Swifty Blues and all of that, it's a better situation for them now. I don't know if Gold Toes charges them anything, but, that's none of my business. But I do know that it's a better situation for you than if you were to go through DistroKit, because having to pay, monthly fee and all of that,
Right.
nah.
$30 a month, pretty much.
There you go. But I just think that if anybody can do that, when iTunes or when Spotify gets your record,
Mm-hmm.
they're not paying attention to it or giving a fuck about it like they do when they get it from Empire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from
Because
an actual
Empire is,
distribution
of
label.
course, of
Yeah,
course. I can
they're
tell
gonna
you
handle
that.
it better. They're gonna carry it more and more
I promise.
carefully.
I promise you what happens, because I've seen situations where algorithms don't even count no more. It doesn't matter if you're in a better situation as far as that. They're not. Well, I don't want to say. I don't know how much I can say, but yeah, it's just a better situation, man, because they do have a power over priority. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that that's the way it should be. It should be that way because they are somebody. They do produce the best fucking artists that the industry has. I know Snoop was over there. I mean, everybody's over there because they do their job good, man. So at least that's why I'm happy there. You know, every quarter they're doing something to make my numbers go up. Every quarter, it doesn't fail. You know, your numbers go up. So, and I'm not doing nothing. They don't even have to do most of the shit that they do, but they do it. You know, they're about to help me with the whole podcast shit, and you know I know they put it on playlists and all kinds of shit, man. So if anybody out there, man, is looking for distribution through Empire, you know, and wants to try it out, man, come fuck with me. Like I said, I won't charge you a cent. I promise you. I'll show you the books. You can see the books, see what it is that you make, and I don't touch it. That's you. I don't need to, you know. So
That's all
yeah, man.
From a legend. We heard that. Anybody out there would tell it.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. If a motherfucker needs to make money off of you, that's not your homie. That's, you know, and I'm your homie. Believe that. I at least if I fuck with you, I don't want to be your business partner like that, unless you got something for me. But I don't see that. You know, like I don't really. Thank God I've put myself in a situation where, you know, I'm good. But if we were to ever do some different type of business that where we could both benefit from each other, but in this situation, me giving you distribution, there ain't no money really for us to make. So what if I take a little bit? It's gonna hurt because it's not enough the way it's structured right now. So it's always best to keep as much money as you can. So in my situation, I make sure you get every red cent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm coming.
Yeah, man.
That's dope right there.
Yeah.
Man, I hope somebody takes mind to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, I mean, like I said, even if you don't mess with me, go mess with somebody like Photos, because they doing something for people, man. You know, be different, man. Or you know, bust your ass and independently until you get your own record or your own distribution deal through somebody like that. You can do it. Ain't nothing holding you back. It's just about being consistent with a little bit of luck. You know what I'm saying? I believe we were a little lucky. I know that plays a part in it, you know, or whatever you want to call it. If you don't believe it, whatever it is, but yeah, it's a little bit of luck and consistency, man, and put as hard as you can and make that shit happen.
Definitely. Yeah, that's true, man. It goes for everything in life.
Yeah.
Bad, you know, no matter what.
Yeah. So what? You ain't got no questions for me, my boy? No. Like something. I don't know. I thought you was gonna at least hit me with you hit me with some good ones, but something just to throw off or something.
Let's see.
What do you
Yeah,
think
you
about?
pretty much. Huh?
Go ahead. Say it again.
You answered most of the questions, like all the artists you work with. You told me. I mean, what else you see? What else you got?
What do you think about this? What do you think about Chicano rap as a genre? Do you think it's when they were saying that Chicano rap is dead? Do you think it's thank you, my boy. Do you think it's going in a better direction as far as a lot of more swag in the game than it is or there was before?
Yeah, now, it's definitely. I think it's still there. It's still going up. You know, it's never gonna die. It's just changing. The style, the swag is just changing. You know.
What rappers do you think are dope right now? Like, name me your top 5 new Chicano rappers.
The new ones I would mess with would be like, I would say Chito Ranas. I would say, I still mess with Shadow. I still mess with the little ones. I mainly mess with all the old school cats. I don't the newer rappers now. I don't really touch on too much. I mess with Chico Ranas a lot because I like his music, but like the King's Little G's and Swifty Blues, I don't really bump too much. You know.
Okay. What you think about
But I also bump. I got my boy Thresh, man. That boy got bars for days, man. Thresh,
that's
man.
what I was gonna say.
Man, I fuck with Thresh in real life, man. I talk to him like I talk to you, man. He's another humble ass dude, man. He's another humble individual, bro. That for having fame and his name popping, he's humble
Man,
ass dude.
He's definitely the problem, man. I know from my point of view, he's been the last one to have an actual hit. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say it, what I consider a hit is at least 1 million views, and I think he's almost at 4 million with that Mama Slide, and he had no promotion, no record label, no nothing. It was just his song, and that was amazing to me. Like he did what we all want to do in this era, because it could be Little G, it could be Little Rob, but to get the numbers that he got with no promotion, no record label, no nothing, it goes to show you that the motherfucker had a good song on his hands. And yeah, he might not have came back with nothing after that, but that's his last song is a hit. So I mean, until he tries again, and if he doesn't hit another home run, then we could talk like, oh, he ain't, but he hasn't done that yet. They still can't keep the name. Everybody mentions him all the time. People hate on him all the time, and I don't get it. I think it's jealousy, and I think it's
a lot of jealousy, bro.
Yeah, at least in my opinion, man. I know. I definitely. I'm cheering for him, and I hope he gets everything he deserves in life, man, because he's a very talented individual. At least I remember when I first heard him or saw him, it's something about him that I just remember saying, if I had a couple $1 million, I would put him on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like and there ain't too many motherfuckers I would tell you I would give a couple, a nice chunk of change to get him on my team. That's definitely one of them, man. That's one dope ass motherfucker, man. And he's got some shit coming out, man. I know he's doing his whole family thing, and can't do nothing but respect that. I know he's a great family man. He's always at home with his girl and his kids. I talk to him a lot too, man, and he's always stayed humble, man. I know. Yeah. I know that whole WAC 100 shit there was so much going on with that. You remember when that shit happened?
Yeah, I remember that.
He went viral with that shit, and everybody had an opinion, and he was being dragged all over the place.
The mud and shit,
yeah. But he held his own, man, and
yeah, he did.
Didn't fucking lose his character or nothing, and I'm proud of him, man. I'm proud of him. Also, the homie Chito Ranas, I don't really know too much about him, man, but I saw that little interview he did on Mr. Criminal shit, man, and I don't know, is he really in jail?
Yeah, he got popped recently.
Yeah, man, I'm praying for him,
Me too, bro.
He's different.
He's different,
very different, man. And I think our mental health is a lot more important than your raps. I could give a fuck about what you rap about. What we worry about him is making sure he's right mentally, man, because it looked to me like he was going through a lot mentally.
Yeah.
And we need to focus on that and get him right so he can get back in the spot. But you see that single he put out? Didn't that single he had hit like 1 million views in like a week or something? I think so, right?
Yeah, yeah. 1 week, yep.
And I get it. He might have had the whole hype because he's getting out of prison after doing 5 years, was it?
Yeah, 5 years.
So I get that, you know, but still, it was a good song, man. And I tell you that I definitely like that.
Flash, yeah.
What was that shit called? What the
All
fuck
the
was
smoke.
it called?
All the
I
smoke.
forgot. I heard it a couple times, but I thought, and I had never heard no music from him. Not one time had I ever heard a Chito Rana song. I had just always heard his name. So when I heard that song, man, I think it was the first song that he released. All the Smoke. All the Smoke? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, All the Smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, when I heard that, I said, man, he's definitely. But and that's going through everything that he was going through. So shout outs to him, man, and hopefully,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
he can get you know, and get about that cage, man, and because he's got a bright future for him, man. I believe that with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? And same thing for motherfuckers like Swifty and everybody else that's out there, man. Let's we gotta make sure we keep ourselves we can entertain and do everything we you know, all the entertaining shit's cool and shit, but stay the fuck out of jail. No, don't do too much, you know what I'm saying? But because I enjoy most of the shit that's going on in the whole drama. It's entertaining, man. It's cool, you know. It's cool to see Bozo and Tres going at it, and you know, Little G and Conejo's little you know, moment. It's cool. I enjoy it. That's hip hop.
Yeah,
I really do
that's
enjoy it.
entertainment in the rap world.
Yeah, you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. As long as we don't, you know, like I was telling the homie, ain't nothing wrong with catching the fade. I done told Tres, catch that fade with Bozo already and do a song with him. You imagine a song with Bozo and Tres? That shit would be dope as fuck. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think Bozo's dope. I really do. So, you know, I know they got their little thing going, man, but they can get down and then get on in the studio, man. So we can push this culture forward, man. We gotta get this shit going.
Bozo's another humble individual. I actually tapped in with him a couple times, man. He's a humble individual, man.
Yeah, he reached out. To you know, should be getting a song in there, but he reached out. The homie Conejo reached out. Everybody's reached out. Got back out there. You know, the names that I wanted to reached out. You know, and I'm grateful for that because this is a new era and motherfuckers like Bozo ain't gotta fuck with me. They got their own thing going already. They solidified themselves. But for motherfuckers like that to reach out, Tres, you know, we man, I feel blessed to say that, you know, that I'm still someone that people want to even fuck with. And I think it goes back to the bars, you know what I'm saying? They know a motherfucker got bars. You there, my boy?
My bad, OG. My kids over here doing the most. I'm like trying to calm them down.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, shit, Frank, I gotta get up out of here, my boy. I appreciate you having me on like a motherfucker, man.
Hold on, wait. Hey, I can't hear him. Stop it. All right, man. My bad, OG. What'd you say?
I said I appreciate you having me on here. I gotta get going though.
All right, for sure, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. For real, you're a legend in the game. I definitely appreciate you taking the time out your day to come on and talk it up with me, man. Definitely a legend.
My boy. I thank you, man. And,
thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Make sure you just stay doing what you're doing, my boy. Like I said, I appreciate you feeding me all the info and keeping me up to date with everything that you're doing. long as you do it with your conscience in mind, and you know what the right thing to do is. You know, you already know. You know what clickbait is. You don't want none of that. You just want to be doing the right thing. Always do the right thing, my boy. And I promise you, your channel's only gonna grow and grow.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, especially from a legend. I definitely appreciate that.
Thank you, my boy. You're a legend too, my boy. You're gonna eventually become something that is part, and you already done solidified yourself. I believe everybody knows who the fuck you are. So you wanna, you know, you part of it now, my boy. Represent it right and do it with respect and honor, you know, and I'm always be here for that.
Yeah, damn, definitely, bro. I try to do everything like you said, you know. And what I do here on this channel reflects on me, so I try to do it respectfully, properly the first time, you know. But definitely, man, I appreciate you, though, man. Definitely.
Thank you, my boy. Thank you, my boy, and wish you nothing but the best, my boy. And if you ever out here in Vegas, get at me, my boy. And you know, I got a room you can stay at and all of that. You and the whole family,
Definitely.
whatever. Get at me.
Definitely appreciate that. Definitely, bro.
Yep.
You have my number, so stay in contact and shit, you know? We'll stay in contact.
Oh, I will. I promise you. Matter of fact, whenever if I ever feel I gotta share something with the community, I'll go through you.
Yeah, hell yeah, that'll be dope, bro. You're always welcome.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll definitely send you. If I got a so-called public announcement, I can send it to you and you can put it out. You feel me?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Everything I do here is for the artists, though. That's why I always try to tell all my artists to come on that I interview. Everything I do on this channel is definitely for the artists, you know, and for the people.
Yeah, I see that. I see how you and the homeboy from Loked Out be pushing, you know, the artist, man, and that's what you're supposed to do. Because we need that. We don't have that. We only have a couple of outlets to
reach to. Yeah.
We appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Definitely, bro. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, carnal, you got my number. My boy, anything you need, just my boy.
All right, gracias.
A ti, carnal.
Yeah.
All right, my boy.
All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. My kids are going crazy. Shouts out to Bad Boy from CLiKA, one man. Much respect, much love. Definitely appreciated. Man, that was dope. Hey, hit the like on the way out and stay tuned for more content. With that being said, I'm Frank from Frank's Vibes. I'm gone.